Dana here from Zero to Income. Recently, I interviewed Jason Haloossim from Brilliant Directories, and I learned a lot. I had so many questions, especially I had this question around AI crawling. And what does that mean and how does that work? Brilliant Directories released a feature now where you can pay $15 a month. It does use some dedicated resources, so this isn't included in like the VIP plugin pack and all of that. But they have turned on this feature where you can add this feature that allows your site to be AI crawled. But what does that even mean and how does that actually work? Here's Jason's response. How does AI crawling work with Brilliant Directories to help make content available for AI? And also, people shouldn't assume that just because they wrote content and it's online that it's available for AI crawling. Is that also correct?
So there's two parts to AI crawling. There's AI being able to look at your web page and read it from a source code perspective. And there's the other part where if you ask AI what's the best restaurant in Maine or whatever, it does its own Google search and it will just find the results from different listings, or they're not actually visiting your site. They're just finding lookups and citations where your site is mentioned, and they will share your site that way. So they can find citations of your site. That has nothing to do with them crawling your site. For them to crawl your site, they need to be able to read your site. And one of the challenges is they're very resource intensive because especially, I don't know why Facebook, but Facebook and the other AI bots, I'm going to throw in the Facebook crawler in there. They're just very hungry and very thirsty to continuously crawl your site. And in many respects, it's not even for your own website's SEO or AI SEO, as they call it. They're just trying to feed their own machine for machine learning. So you're not even going to get a lot of SEO benefit from it. However, with that said, and this is important, is we have come up with an enhanced hosting bundle, which allows the good AI bots for SEO, not just for their own self-serving machine learning, so they waste all your bandwidth and suck up all your resources and make everything go slow. But the quintessential ones, the ubiquitous ones, with the enhanced hosting bundle, do allow AI to actually crawl your site, read your site, and index your site in a safe manner. And that actually does help bolster SEO. So if your site isn't listed in citations like in Google or on Reddit, the AI, that's one way AI references sites. Like, oh, I found these 5 sites on Reddit. This is probably the top 5 restaurants. But in order to actually read your site, you want to have that enhanced hosting bundle, which unlocks and opens up the ability for them to actually read the source code of your web page.
Any early success stories, anything that you've seen like, oh my goodness, we're seeing like this site is now getting more organic traffic? Um,
So, so that's a good question. So I saw a meme yesterday, and Google still owns what 90% of search traffic, and SEO, and Bing has like 4 or 5% of maybe three to 5% of search traffic, and all of a sudden ChatGPT is like responsible for 0.2% of SEO traffic to sites. So I still think we're in the early stages. I think a lot of people are getting excited about it, but you do want to, if you're this is a long-term project for yourself, you do want to start seeding your site in them. And there's also, the volume of searches that are happening. How much volume in the industry are people actually searching for the focus and the market that your site focuses on. So short answer, I think it's still a very small percentage of search traffic. Because even Google now is, you type something in Google and your first results are Google's Gemini results, and then the search results below it. So they're already creating a buffer where you're already used to going to Google, so they're going to give you the AI results right there. But yeah, with browsers like, I think, Perplexities, and I think OpenAI has just come out with their own browser, where you want AI to be able to read your site. So, and I think they're going to get a bit more responsible with how they crawl sites, because it's just a little bit egregious, the bots that they sent out there initially, because they're just so thirsty. They're trying to gather as much information from the internet as possible. And they're just doing it a little carelessly. But I think they're going to rein it in a bit and put it more under control. So it's a bit more responsible.
I have so many pages, landing page, for businesses set up there. And it's like you got to sift through 2 or 3 pages, and then finally you're starting to show up. So you got AI dribble at the top, and then you got
Right.
those that are with the biggest budgets showing up, and it seems like the ad stuff keeps getting bigger. And maybe that's
Yep.
psychological to me, but
No, you're right.
it seems that way.
They're happy to take people's money.
Yep. And then so you're driven to page 2 or 3, but from what I understand, this is kind of like a way to get an early foot in the bus of like, here's our information formatted in a way that AI can ingest it, and it ends up into some of those data repositories, libraries that AI is going to use. Is that my understanding?
That's exactly correct. And actually, what you just mentioned, like the keyword log home, that's what we call a short tail keyword.
Yep.
That's like trying to rank for the word lawyer in the law
Right.
industry, right?
Yep.
What's nice about the directories is long tail keywords, which are usually cheaper and less expensive when you're doing pay-per-click advertising, because it's not everyone's trying to bid for that longer tail keyword. And with the directory, you have log homes, but you have categories of log homes, right? I don't know. You have A-frames, you have I don't know what, but and then you have all the different locations. For example, Maine, you have all the cities or the beaches. So when you put the category with the location, you now have hundreds or thousands of combinations for long tail keywords. You don't need to do PPC for all of them. However, I was just a guest in another webinar. I created a Excel matrix where you put all your category names and all your location names, and then you drag it, and it just creates all the keywords you want, the long tail keywords you want to
Mhm.
target. Put that in Google PPC, link them to their respective search results pages or a landing page where you're capturing the consumer lead for that. And that's where you can do PPC a bit more economically.
Mhm.
And also with what we just did for your search results page, that's exactly what AI wants. So when someone does search for a log home in Wells, Maine, that article is probably one of very few that have that much information about log homes in Wells, Maine. And AI will
Gotcha.
prioritize that, so long as they can crawl your site.
Something I really thought was in addition to this was super cool with this interview with Jason was that he kind of schooled me a little bit on how to build a landing page that was really stocked with some great SEO and how to do it automatically using some AI functionality that's built into the platform, using real data to stock up on some great SEO terms for actual search landing pages. And I'm going to link to that so you can see that here. Check that out. I hope you have a great day.